My partner invited his ex-convict friend to live with us, and now it's getting out of hand. My 28 female partner, 31 male, invited his ex-convict 33 male friend to live with us, and now it's getting out of hand. My longtime partner of 5 years invited, without my permission, his friend who he recently developed a relationship with through church to live with us in our home 2 months ago. Initially, I was upset because my partner had been telling me about his new friend when he was first getting to know him at church. I don't go to church, and I found that he was convicted of minor sexual assault charges 8 years ago. I don't think much of it until 2 months ago when I came home from work and I nearly called the police out of sheer panic because his friend, who I had no idea what he looked like at the time, was alone in our house because my partner had apparently invited him to live with us, and my partner left him alone in our house while he went to go buy additional groceries and living supplies for him to be more comfortable. Long story short, I managed to forgive him for all of this after we had multiple conversations in private about why he did this. However, I made him accept a condition of mine, being that if his friend ever started to disrupt our lives, that he would have to move out. Well, his friend has been doing exactly that. I could have given over 20 examples of what my partner's friend has done to disrupt our, mainly mine, my partner doesn't seem bothered, lives. But yesterday was a breaking point for me. I was in the shower and his friend walked into the bathroom without knocking and took a piss in the toilet, despite the fact that we have 4 bathrooms in our house. And it took me literally screaming at the top of my lungs at him for my partner to hear and come into the bathroom and get his friend to leave. I expected my partner to be furious since his friend was violating my privacy, but he dismissed it when I got out of the shower by saying he obviously had to go, which I can't even begin to comprehend. It's just so incredibly stupid and not at all an excuse. Anyway, I'm currently crying as I write this because I don't know what to do. It's my partner's house, so ultimately he gets to decide who can live here. But I have lived with him for 3 years and been his partner for 5, so I'm just so incredibly confused as to why he seems to no longer value my opinion or my life that has been turned upside down by his friend. What actions do I need to take immediately? Minor essay or essay of a minor? I'm scared for you. Get out. Hide out, take out. What are you going to do? Like, leave the situation? I would not be comfortable at all. Honestly, I'm worried for your safety at this point. I would leave until that friend leaves.
My daughter just contacted me after 17 years asking if I want to meet my granddaughter. Am I the asshole for telling her that I don't care about her or her daughter and to never contact me again?
You said this one's the funny one?
Yeah, mostly because of the edit, but yeah.
Okay, alright, sounds good.
But also the edit gets sad at the end too. So
Great, even better.
Okay.
Oh, but hilarious for me.
I guess good for the people involved, sad for me.
Okay, alright.
Okay, I am not sure if I am an asshole. Going to provide more background.
Good, yeah, fucking just write your story, dude. Come on.
I am in my 60s now. I was married to my ex-wife and we had a daughter. Our marriage was going through its up and downs, but I was really close with our daughter. But as our marriage was going through its difficulties, I made a huge mistake I still regret to this day. I started having an affair with my coworker.
Oof.
She was in a violent, physically abusive relationship at home. We became friends at work and things just escalated from there. She got, quote-unquote, an out from me, and she got the support she needed to file for divorce from her husband, who is currently in jail now. The affair went nowhere and we called it off shortly after, but I was glad that she got out of her abusive relationship and that she was safe.
Okay.
You still like had an affair, dog.
Yeah,
it's so funny to put all that shit in there.
But
like, I'm glad that lady's safe.
I
but
did
like,
do a good thing by saving her. That's why I rewarded myself by having an affair.
But when my ex-wife found out about the affair, things expectedly didn't go well. She lashed out and said a lot of horrible things about me to our daughter, like I was having an affair, who was 15 at the time. I admitted full fault with the affair, but even though I'm not doing it in this post.
But guys, I saved her though.
But even after the divorce, I sensed that the distance between me and my daughter was growing until one day my daughter said she wasn't going to speak with me anymore. And she was going to cut me off from her life forever.
Guys, did you know that you could save people, quote unquote, without fucking them? Did you guys know that you could actually help people without...
Believe it or not, you could do that and still be faithful to your wife.
Yeah.
And not hurt your daughter in that way.
Yeah.
That was the most painful thing anyone had ever said to me. Sounds like a cushy life, dude, man. That's all I'm saying. Like, maybe that's pretty fucked up, but like, someone should have said worse shit to you then.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my opinion. I begged her to please reconsider. I still remember that day. But time passed on, my daughter kept her word, and after trying to connect with her for the first year, I gave up. 1 year.
Yeah.
And then he gave up.
Calling it.
Can't do it. I found out from one of my mutual friends. By the way, she's 15. She
The
cut him
daughter-
off when she was 15. And he tried for 1 year and then he gave up and left.
Yeah, it's like
Okay, good.
Really
You're
tried.
good. You're such a good dude. I gave up. I found out from one of my mutual friends that my ex-wife married a great guy. I was happy because I was hoping that would remove the hatred from my ex-wife, and my ex-wife would advise her daughter to at least rekindle a relationship with me. But that never happened. I moved states a year later.
okay.
So 1 year after she's 15, she's like, I don't want to talk to you. 1 year later, you're like, fucking, I stopped trying to contact her, right? She's 15. 16, you move away to a different state.
Whole different state. Willingly,
What
question
a
mark.
piece of
Yeah,
shit
like
this
come on. Yeah.
16, 17-year-old is.
Yeah.
Goddamn. A couple of hours ago, my daughter called me on my phone. I hadn't spoken to her in 17 years. I instantly recognized her voice, but I didn't feel anything. Good. That's
Why
good.
would you say that in your own post, dude?
No happiness, no sadness, just indifference. She was crying a lot on the call, and we caught up on life. She's married, and she has a daughter who's now 12. She apologized for cutting off contact, and she says her mom asked her to reconnect with me.
Why? Okay.
As her mom felt guilty about how everything played out.
Why? Wait. What?
She said she really wanted me to meet her daughter, but her daughter was constantly asking about granddaddy. But I wasn't feeling anything. After we caught up on everything in our life, I told her I don't care about her or her daughter and to never contact me again. I then hung up. Was I the asshole?
Yeah, and that. Yes. Yeah.
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 You
What?
cheated on your wife. Your teenage daughter got upset with you. Then you moved away. And then she called you and was like, hey, we should catch up. And then you were like, fuck you. And you want to know if you're a dick? Like, I don't...
Come on, yeah.
Anyone that is like, this guy is not the asshole, is you just... I don't know. I don't know how to save you anymore, man. I try to put myself in your shoes. I truly do. And then you think that I'm not. And you think like I'm a piece of shit and I'm not doing anything, and
Yeah.
I just care about, I always side with the women or something, and I'm like, man, shut the fuck up, dude.
Yeah,
I'm
so-
sorry.
Well, okay, what's with this edit though? That's what
Okay.
I want to
This
know.
edit's hilarious.
Okay.
Look, I was extremely drunk last night. The words which came out of my mouth weren't the best, and
We're given you were drunk. Was that what you want us to say, my guy?
my comments on my post weren't great either. Seeing how everyone said I was the asshole, I decided to call my daughter again an hour ago. I didn't really expect her to pick up the call, but she picked up immediately. I apologized for last night, and she said there was no need to apologize. That's the part that makes me sad.
Yeah,
I then
Jesus.
sent her a link to this Reddit post on messages and told her that I know I was the asshole and thousands said so. She again said I wasn't the asshole. She started crying again. This also makes me very sad.
Yeah, Jesus.
I told her she's free to come to my house anytime the next 4 months because after that I will be leaving the country with my sister and our dog. Our parents left us a nice farmhouse in their home country and we will be spending the rest of our lives there. I sent her my address on messages and my daughter...
Like, you're not even going to be... Oh my God, Jesus, okay.
And my daughter said she'd come with her husband and her daughter by end of next week. She asked if she was welcome to stay there for multiple days, and I told her she could stay for however long she wanted, as our house was spacious enough.
Am I wrong for promising my son something I have to break? Yes! So my son isn't like the typical boy. Well, he plays football, is athletic, flirts with girls, goes to party, etc. But he has always been someone that really likes to take care of other people. It started when he was a child. We brought his sister home and he would sleep in her crib with her and take care of her as you would a parent. He wanted to be the one to feed her, play with her, put her to sleep. It was really adorable, but we put a stop to it because it got to the point where she only wanted to be around her brother and didn't care about her parents. She still prefers him, which is embarrassing, but at least she's not calling him dad anymore. He's also always saving animals and bringing them home. We're not big pet people, so we've never had pets before, but he has snuck in a kitten and nursed her in his room before we found out. His best friend has sort of a bad home situation, so he often does his homework for him, even though we tell him not to, and he brings him food that he cooks himself. It does stress me out that he seems to want to mother someone so bad. That's like having empathy. What? He always talks about how much he loves a dog and how he's missing out on important childhood memories by not having one. He has begged us for a dog, but we've said no. While he says he will care for it completely, we know that's not feasible because he is in school for 9 hours a day and then also has sports and extracurriculars. He also has friends that he hangs around, so we hardly see him. Having a dog is a big no. We've explained this to him, but he's not happy about it. There is a giant lab that is a stray where we live, and a lot of our neighbors have been feeding and taking care of it. Yesterday I came home and my son had brought it inside, given it a bath and training it with treats. I said no dogs inside, play with him outside, and kicked them both out. Later my son came in to eat food. The lab was sitting right at the door, waiting for him to come back outside. His sister and him begged me to let them keep the lab, but I said absolutely not. Labs make a lot of mess and that one has a lot of energy. While my son goes to sleep, he's sad because the lab is still waiting at the door. He says a dog shouldn't be kept outside his whole life. He asked me if the lab is out there by the morning, if he waits outside all night, can I keep it? I decided sure. All night, him and his sister kept checking the door to see if the lab was still there, and it was. But I wasn't worried because I thought for sure it would be gone by morning, but it wasn't. He woke up in the morning and opened the door, and the lab was still there. Of course, they were celebrating keeping their lab, but I had to tell them absolutely not. I only said that because I thought he wouldn't be outside in the morning. I don't want a dog. My son said I'm breaking my promise and is upset at me. My daughter has been crying all day. So, am I the asshole? You lied. Why would you say yes? If you knew in your heart, no matter under any circumstances, you did not want this dog, you should have made it clear. That's on you.
Am I the asshole for suggesting that my sister-in-law is a hypocrite for ordering a highly caloric meal for my brother who's currently on a diet?
This could go either way.
Yeah.
Either she is sabotaging him or this person is like, so every tortellini is 80 calories.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Like something you're putting every tortellini into one of those things that fire it up.
Yeah.
I have 3 brothers, and my oldest brother, Andrew, is currently dating this girl, Angelina. She is decent but quite antithetical in a lot of ways. Our family always gets together at weekends for dinner and stuff, and now my sister-in-law gets to tag along. Andrew had a health scare in the past and is trying a completely new diet. I had a friend over last Sunday who's a professional chef and he made Indian food, but Andrew didn't want to eat it as he thought it was too spicy. Angelina ordered a highly caloric meal for him then, which I thought was funny because, oh well, he's on a diet. I don't know why we're flourishing. Yeah. Oh,
what?
well. Yeah, he's on a diet.
Yeah, what? Okay.
I mentioned this and my brother replied that the doctor has given him carte blanche to eat what he wants on the weekends.
Oh.
I said, oh, well, that's funny because that's not how it works. And I mentioned the expensive treadmill that they just bought for exercise, asking what's the point?
How do you so you know how it works more than the fucking doctor?
And also, do you know that you're not allowed to eat anything that isn't healthy if you own a highly expensive treadmill?
No, you only can eat rice and unseasoned chicken and broccoli.
You can only meal prep once you buy a fucking, what are they called? Peloton? Yeah. Angelina is also encouraging my brother to adopt a more active lifestyle. They run every morning and go on hikes together.
Well, that's nice.
I also mentioned this and said it's quite hypocritical of her to force him to exercise while ordering death on a plate for him.
Force death? What the fuck is going on in your brain, man?
Andrew got mad and told me it's none of my business.
It isn't.
Told me to respect Angelina.
Yeah.
And they both left dinner.
Okay.
My youngest brother agreed and told me I was just being nasty because I didn't have someone to take care of me. Am I the asshole here?
My husband insisted on getting a snake that I was totally against. I grew up in the city and I'm terrified of snakes. Even after stating all of this, my husband said snakes make him happy, and that he doesn't stop me from purchasing things that I like to do, such as girls' trips, concerts, etc. So why could I deprive him of his happiness? Not even 24 hours of getting the damn thing, it escaped its enclosure and now we can't find it. I don't feel comfortable sleeping in my own home and I'm beyond angry. He still hasn't even apologized. Just made a comment last night about how he was looking forward to this so much and that now he's sad because he lost it. So just a word of advice to all partners out there thinking about getting a snake: do not do it. Almost 1K later for supplies and the stupid snake that is now loose somewhere in my house. I honestly don't know if I'm going to get over this. Anyone have any tips for trying to find a snake lost in the house?